life, we often make decisions to do actions only under certain conditions. For instance, I'll only play Fortnite if my friends are online, otherwise I'll play Minecraft instead. Or, if it's sunny, I'll wear sunglasses. If it's raining, I'll wear an umbrella, otherwise I'll wear a creeper costume. Similarly in our code, we're going to need the computer to make a decision. For that, we use if statements, in which we ask the computer to check a condition, run some code if that's true, and if we want to, we can run some different code if it's false. So let's write an if statement. We write if and some brackets. The condition for the if statement goes in these brackets. We can use relational operators, equality, logical operators, anything that's either true or false. So let's just say if x is greater than 5. So this checks if x is greater than 5. So if that is true, then we write some code in these curly brackets. So if we write the console.log here, then this will only run if x is greater than 5. So you can see we're not printing anything when we run the code, but if I change x to 7, then we are running this code, this console.log, because we've checked that x is greater than 5. Yes, that's true. X is 7, that's greater than 5, so we can run this code. So why don't we want something to happen if this condition is false, then we use an else block. So we just write else, then whatever's in these curly brackets will run if the thing above it was false. So let's console.log cool. So if I make that 3 again, then now we're printing under 5 because we're asking the computer if x is greater than 5, that's false, it's 3, that's not greater than 5. So this code will not run, so then if this didn't run, then else we run this code instead. So we get under 5. And again, if I change that back to something over 5, 100, then yeah, we get over 5 again. Cool, so hopefully you're wondering, what happens if I make this 5? Now, if I make this 5, we're printing under 5, but that's not right. 5 is not under 5. So to add more conditions to this, we need something called else if. So we can chain these conditions basically by adding another block just like this. Oops. Just like that. So we can add another condition here and chain that onto this previous condition. So let's add another condition that x is equal to 5. So now we have another check. So first we check if x is greater than 5, and if that's not true, then we go into this check, else if x is equal to 5. So now we do this check, and let's print something that matches that. Cool. So now we have 2 checks, and now if neither of these are true, then we go into this else statement. So hopefully we run this now, we get it's 5. So we first checked if it's greater than 5, that's not true. Then we checked else if it's equal to 5, and that was true. So now we can print the right thing out, and this part will only execute if it was neither equal to nor greater than 5, which means it's got to be less than 5. And that's the basics of how to write an if statement. So, a quick quiz for you guys. Have a look at this code on the screen here, and see if you can work out what it will print out to the console when I run it. Try and figure this out without typing up this code yourself and running it. See if you can work it out just by reading through the code. Pause the video, have a think about it, and we'll see if you get the right answer. So hopefully you got that this code will print out this planet is Neptune. So let's talk through this code and make sure we understand what's happening here. So we first have an array of 4 items: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Earth. These are just strings. So planets 2 equals Neptune. What this line does is we're getting the item at the second index 2 in this array, so 0, 1, 2, that's the third item, and we're equating that to Neptune. So we're basically overriding what was in this spot. So now the array is equal to Mercury, Venus, Neptune, Earth. So now we can look at the if statement. So if planets.length is greater than 4, so this is an if condition to check whether planets.length, the length of the array, is greater than 4. So we can see that this array has 4 items in it, so it should have a planets.length, the length of it should be 4. So this condition would not be true because we're checking if it's greater than 4, exclusively greater than 4, and that's not true, it's equal to 4. So we wouldn't be going into this if block. So now let's check the next condition. It's a lot to it, so let's read through it carefully. Firstly, we check if planet 0 equals Pluto. So that is getting the first item of the array, planet 0, and checking whether it is equal to the string Pluto. So planet 0 is Mercury, and that is not equal to Pluto, so this is false. However, we have a Boolean operator here, our OR operator, these two lines here is OR, and then another condition, so we have to check both conditions. So even if one of the conditions in the Boolean was false, then if the other one is true, then this whole thing is still going to be true. So you have to take care of the brackets here. There are lots of brackets. So we have these two brackets here are enclosing our if condition for the else if, but there are another nested set of brackets here. This whole thing here is one statement. So we need to work out whether this whole thing is true before we can decide if this whole thing is true. So let's look at this statement first. So planets 0 equals Mercury. Well, we just realized that was true. So the first item of this planet's array is Mercury, the string, and that is equal to the string Mercury. So that is true. And we have an AND operator here. So if this whole thing is going to be true, then we need both these items to be true. So this is true, we know that's right. So now let's check the second one. So planets 1, that's the second item in the array, Venus, is not equal to Venus. So that's not right because, planets 1 is Venus, and this is saying that planets 1 is not Venus, so that is false. So we have something that's true and something that's false. For the AND operator, we need them both to be true for this statement to be true. So therefore, since this was false, and this is an AND operator, this statement is false. So we have one false statement, another false statement, therefore both of these are false. So even though it's an OR operator, this whole thing is still false. So we do not go into this else if block at all. So therefore we're going into this else block, and we're console.logging this planet is, and the planets 2, which is the thing that we just changed, which is Neptune, and that is how we get this result printed.